I tried a 10-day Vipassana course, and here's what happened. But before I dive into my own experience, I want to explain what is actually Vipassana. Vipassana is a meditation technique that was brought to us by Gautama Buddha 2,500 years ago. When he was 35, he decided that he no longer chooses suffering. He wants to reach nirvana, dissolve his ego, get enlightened. And he sat under the tree and started meditating. And he managed to reach nirvana, as they say, using this technique, using Vipassana. And when he reached nirvana, when he got enlightened, he was spreading his knowledge, spreading the teachings of Vipassana from one person to the other. And even when he died, the teachings were still being spread around the world, monastery to monastery, teacher to teacher. Over time, certain things got altered depending on the tradition, on the culture, on the person who was teaching Vipassana. But no matter what school you choose, no matter what teacher you choose, the main point is always the same. It's always about full awareness, observation, and concentration on the present moment. And the technique is actually very pure because it's not linked to any religion. It's not linked to your imagination. It's literally just you being with the present moment. And in the school which I chose, which is Vipassana by Goenka Ji, there we were observing our body sensations. This was our anchor to presence. Now let's talk about the 10-day course itself. First of all, it's not really 10 days. It's actually 12. They count day 0. That's your day 1. 10 days is where you are actually taught Vipassana. And then day 11, they call it, which is the 12th day, is when you are allowed to leave. What I also love about the Vipassana that I've done, which is Goenka Ji's Vipassana, is that it's completely free. So there's no excuses of, oh, it's too expensive, I cannot do it, etc. No, this is available for each and every single human being on this planet. And honestly, there are a few things that I would love every person on this planet to try, and Vipassana is one of them. And once again, there's no excuses because the only thing you need is 10, which is 12-ish days, and that's it. Of course, if you want, you can donate. This is how Vipassana is growing from one country to another, from one center to the other, because of those donations. But also, if you don't have an opportunity to donate, it's also okay. And there are other ways that you can give back. Again, only if you please, only if your heart desires. There is absolutely no pressure to do anything at all. But if there's no opportunity to do a donation, you can serve. You can come to a course not as a student, but as a server, help with cleaning, cooking, etc. And this is a way of giving back to this beautiful school and the teaching of Vipassana. So the schedule actually is very, very strict. We wake up at 4 a.m. and start meditating at 4:30. So there's 2 hours of meditation. Then we have our breakfast, which is at 6:30. There are some breaks in between, but all in all, we are meditating 10 hours per day. And food is served 2 times a day. If you're an old student, the last meal you're taking is at 11 a.m. And if you're a new student, they give fruits at 5 p.m. But if you're an old student, you'll get lemon water or some fruit water. And there's a very big gap between proper food intakes. The food is vegetarian, and honestly, it depends on the place where you are based, but really don't expect anything very luxury in the living space also, or the food. But overall, the idea is for you to keep your mind and your body completely light so you could go easily inward. So all your focus goes there. There are also a lot of rules. So no phones are allowed, no books, no music instruments, no singing, no listening to music. You are not allowed to do anything when we arrived, what we were told that we're not even allowed to look into each other's eyes. You're not allowed to communicate, not only with words, but also non-verbally. So you basically walk in silence and do your best to keep your eyes down on the ground, and the only thing that you see are the feet of other students. But there are some exceptions when you can actually talk. If you have an issue, if you need something, there's always people on the ground that you can come to and ask for help. And there's also a teacher during the course, which you can come to and ask questions and have a proper conversation if you feel confused with the technique. Also, during the Goenka Ji's Vipassana course, in the evening, we had videos of Goenka Ji presenting and giving us stories about Buddha, telling us about the Vipassana technique and teaching us step by step how to do it, not just dropping straight away, this is the full thing. No, it was done in a very gentle and smooth way to prepare our mind and to prepare our body to what's coming. So you can see that there are many, many rules, and the whole experience is actually not easy at all, but it's very, very profound. It's very healing. But if you are looking at the rules and your whole body says no, do not go, because it's better not to go at all than enter Vipassana, go for 2-3 days, and then leave. And usually they say that 3-4% of people who join Vipassana, they actually leave. They're not able to follow the rules, and it's too difficult for them. And I totally understand, because once again, it is not easy at all. Now let's dive into my personal experience. So before going to Vipassana, I already knew what it is. And I had my cousin and her husband going and afterwards giving me tips, telling me their stories. So I was prepared. The number one tip that helped me survive my first Vipassana is a meditation bench. Oh my God, this is something that literally saved my life, because we have to sit in a meditative state and pose for 10 hours per day. And this is very, very uncomfortable. This meditation bench allows to shift your poses from, let's say, this pose to afterwards sitting on your knees like this, where the meditation bench is. You can also use a pillow to create that effect of a meditation bench and sit on the pillow on your knees. That makes it so much easier. But again, what I preferred the meditation bench to any pillow. That's my number one tip for you. So physically, Vipassana is also very hard, because once again, you're sitting for 10 hours per day and your body starts to ache. I remember during my first Vipassana, my whole left shoulder was in so much pain, and it was going somehow connecting to my left eye. I was even feeling the sensations and the pain behind my eye. That was very, very weird. And what they actually say in the Vipassana teachings, that this pain is actually good. It's sort of your negative karma also coming out this way, layer after layer, through this pain. So no need to worry about it. That is something that is being released, your karma being released from your body in this way. But the most difficult and the most profound day was day number 4. Before Vipassana, I used to think that I am the most chilled person in the world, that I never feel anger. And during day 4, I had a wave of anger absorbing me, and the amount of rage that was coming out was unbearable. And it was very also interesting to see that, hey, this is not you being so chilled. This is you suppressing your anger for so many years. And finally, when I sit down and calmed my mind and removed all the distractions, I was able to see that. And this was also one of the biggest insights that I had during Vipassana. And only this was worth me going to Vipassana, because afterwards I was able to ground that experience and was able to understand how can I connect with my anger and what can I do with it? How can I release it in a healthy, ecological way? Another thing that happened was my monkey mind. It went crazy. I had a whole zoo in my head. I traveled to places, spoke to people, even though I was literally sitting in one place and just meditating. I had so many creative ideas in regards to my business, relationships, and what I also realized is that we can have as many visions and beautiful visions and ideas as many as we can, but if we don't ground them after such experiences, chances are that they will not be realized. Yes, I was able to ground that experience with anger and manage it, but all the other ideas that I had eventually were not grounded and didn't realize. So it's very, very important in any experience, in any vision that you have, to be able to actually ground them in this 3D reality by writing a plan, by taking action. And also, it made me realize that a lot of amazing ideas actually come to us when we are in stillness, when we are not working, glued to our computers, on the phone, on the calls, but actually when we are in stillness, when we are just with ourselves. Also, during Vipassana, for the first time in my life, I was able to feel the energy. At the end, it was, I think, day 9 or 10, I was literally feeling the energy flowing from up to down, from down to up. And it was an incredible, amazing feeling of being connected to the body and something which is beyond my understanding at that point of time. So Vipassana is not only about pain and suffering there, you can also experience some cool sensations and have some cool realization and creative ideas during Vipassana. The important part here is to stay away from cravings and aversion. And this is what's taught throughout the whole course. Even if there's a good, pleasant sensation, you don't have to cling to it. If there's a painful sensation, also, you don't have to put all your you don't have to suffer because of it. You can witness it, but suffering is, at the end of the day, a choice. And one of the words that is being repeated over and over again during the course is the word anicca, which means impermanence. Everything will pass, the good, the not so good, it comes and goes. And whatever you're going through right now, it too shall pass. So my personal viewpoint about Vipassana, I personally think that Vipassana is freaking amazing and everyone has to try it at least once in their lives. And I personally had an incredible sense of peace after Vipassana, just being without social media, phones, computers, and people around, and constant chatter and communication is very, very healing by itself. Was able to understand myself better, understand my mind better, get in touch and feel my body better. And I learned an amazing technique which I can use anywhere I am without any guidance, without any teacher. This meditation technique is available wherever I go. So for me, it was a truly profound and life-changing experience. And if you guys have any questions about Vipassana, feel free to leave your comment below. I would be very happy to share my answer to those questions. Also, like, comment, share, follow, all of these things, they go a long way for us creators. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.